So hey guys, it's your boy Dark Raikou here with What If Issei Was an Experiment Part 2. Now, let me begin into this what if, but yeah, I should also mention that after this I might go on with the Byakuya what if, but yeah, the only reason I'm going on with Part 2 of this what if is because I want to go into the Fight Festival part. But yeah, this part is going to be called Fight Festival, but yeah, since a lot of people are going to literally jumping into this fight, but not at the point. So I had a dream about this. That was kind of sounds cheesy as fuck. Why the fuck was I having a dream about this? What if? Well, before I actually fell asleep when I was rewatching this what if. So yeah, for some reason every time I rewatch some of my what ifs, I kind of always have dreams and layouts and what's going to happen, but then forgot and what the fuck I'm gonna do. But this one, it was just recently. I kind of just woke up recently a while ago. But yeah, I fell asleep. I think I came back at home at like 1 because we were somewhere kind of working. And then we were over there, put our tools back. So, and then I ate at 3 o'clock. So I kind of fell asleep somewhere at 3 o'clock and said, fuck it. So yeah, a bad idea to fall asleep when you kind of finish eating. But I don't listen to some stuff like that. Because of like food can go back up. And I usually don't listen because I'm an idiot and I fall asleep. But yeah, I was too damn tired. But not the point. So right now it's kind of like 6 o'clock ish. So I kind of slept for like 2 hours. But yeah, and then put the sides from actually doing this what if a while ago because I was too lazy. But yeah, but not the point. So no recaps, no nothing. So let me begin this what if. Let me shut the fuck up and let me go on with this what if. Okay. So this is called What If Issei Was an Experiment, Part 2. Now, let me begin. So this is where Issei is right now walking along Junko side, and of course next to the other side is Edward. Mostly Edward Brian Makuhami. No, I'm just kidding. But pretty much, he is from Brian not Brian. Mostly Edward is kind of Irish, so of course well, he's right now excited to start having this fight festival. This is where he's grinning like he never grinned before. So where well, Junko is sweat dropping about Edward, and this is where well she then looks at mostly Issei, and Issei has this emotionless look for a second until she kind of just snapped her fingers right in front of him. This is where Issei says, "Huh? Did you say something?" This is where well, Junko says, "Yeah, I was kind of wondering, can I bring some of my friends when this fight festival happens? I know it's going to happen next week." Oh yeah. I should also mention the next week is well mostly next week is going to be like fully like Monday through Friday because right now it's like today being Friday. But yeah, you say yeah, there's going to be other people except for me, Masui Motohama, and what's it called? Well, Edward. I'm going to ask some other people that I don't really think they're perverts at all because I can read their mind. This is where well. Junko says, I see. So that's why you could actually read what's it called, Sona's mind. Quite interesting. She's always a stoic person and it's really hard to read her. But you can just easily say, I can read your mind. Huh. Such a jerk. So how long can you be in reading minds? Ever since I, well, decided to stop in the beginning of the fucking year. Wait, what? Issei says, I hate reading people's minds. They're so, how should I say, dirty half the time. Especially females. And guys, I don't care. Besides, Junko, who are you gonna go fight against? The female side or most of the guy side? Both. Can I say both? Well, maybe. Yeah. Hey, Edward, where... This is where Junko and Issei were just confused. Edward was already gone. Where the fuck did he go? I don't know where the fucking Irish went. Just where, well, Junko kind of giggles and says, wow, are you two even friends? Hell no, I can tolerate him half the time. But yeah, I see. So, what's it called? Let's see. So, have you ever decided to go out with anyone? She then asked, kind of curious a little bit, because she heard a little bit over the conversation between Sona and Issei, but Issei really didn't care about his love life or anything. Issei looks at her directly in her eyes and kind of looked for anything kind of resembling lust or anything. No, there was no lust, but there was actually curious. Issei sighs and says, no, I never did go out with anyone. Not really. I really don't care. I see. Do you ever plan to do that? Hmm. No, not at all. Maybe in the near future, maybe. But I probably don't care that much. Hmm. How about this will work well? She's trying to think, and this will work well. She's thinking, and this will work well. Issei, he thought of something and thought something like someone talk about him and somewhere far, but he didn't care that much, or not far. Mostly, he was just thinking and what mostly Junko was thinking in her head. He would have read her mind, but decides not to. This will work well. They accidentally bump into a group of people, and of course, someone appear right in front of Junko and say, "Boo!" This is where Junko kind of just almost shot up and was about to slap the person. This worked well. The person who managed to kind of dodge Junko's slap was a girl with darkish long hair and of course violet eyes. This is where the girl kind of giggles and says, "Ah, Junko-chan, why were you about to slap your sister, your twin sister?" This is where Junko scoffs and says, "Screw you. We're not twins. You're a little bit younger than me." This is where right now the girl says, "Ah, screw you, Junko." This is where mostly Junko says, "Okay, Rainer, what do you want?" This is where she looked up, sees Rainer, but then sees two people behind Rainer. And that is what they call Valerie, Lucifer, and, well, mostly, yeah, one of the only sons, and of course, her queen, Kuroka. This is where, Kuroka says, my. She kind of just says, she kind of goes purring a little bit and looking at Issei. This is where, Issei looks at her and says, "Tolerance level 4. This is where, Kuroka looks confused at him. This is where, Rainer looks at Issei with this lustful look and, of course, decides to, right now, get close to him and says, "Yo, aren't you that perverted boy named Issei? You're quite cute." This is where Issei slaps his hand, or her hand away. And this is where Issei decides to grab Junko's hand and says, "Hey, Junko, so I will be seeing you later, okay?" This is where, Junko right now blushes a little bit. This is where, she becomes a little bit flustered because she wasn't expecting Issei to grab her hand and just tell her that. And this is where, Issei was kind of letting go of her hand. And before she kind of, was about to completely let go of his hand, she kind of grabs it and right now tells Rainer to move for a second. This is where, Rainer says, "Are you two dating? I wasn't expecting my sister to actually date someone." Junko's face is all red. Issei looks emotionless and looks completely indifferent from the whole talking. This is where, right now Valerie seems unnerved with this guy's kind of look. He seems to be emotionless and you can barely tell what he's actually thinking. This is where, Kuroka, she's confused. 4? But I'm not a 4. I'm definitely a 10. What? But she didn't hear the last part of tolerance level. But yeah, Issei can only tolerance a little bit of people. This is where, Junko kind of pushes, mostly Rainer away. And this is where, she kind of decides to almost walk away. But this is where Issei says, "What are you doing? This isn't the way to my classroom." This is where, she says, "Shut up for a second." Issei says, "No, I'm not going to shut up." This is where, she gets angry and glares at Issei, which Issei kind of was surprised. He has a surprised face now, mostly a surprised look at her glare. This is where Issei said, "Fine." This is where, she dragged him towards a corner, and this is where, Junko says, "Issei." This is where Issei says, "Yeah? How hard, not hard, how hurt are you going to get in this battle of Fight Festival?" "Probably pretty bad. Why? Or maybe I can dodge. Who cares?" This is where, Junko says, "How about this? If you don't get hurt, even once, or get hurt really bad, Issei decides to read her mind and says, "You want to go on a date with me?" Yes. This is where her face becomes fully shades of red. This is where just different colors of shades of red. Issei says, with a small little grin actually appearing on his face instead of being emotionless half the time. This is where, Issei says, "Okay." This is where, she looks up and sees his small smile actually appearing from a grin to a smile. This is where, Issei said with such a gentle kind of tone of his voice instead of being emotionless, "Sure, I'll go on a date with such a pretty girl, even if you are fallen." This is where, well, her face becomes red, and of course she says, "Shut up." Besides, I know you're gonna love the fact when I make a lot of guys full of despair. So I sure like to make, well, you feel really great with the despair of every male, don't you think? Isn't it? Well, she was blushing. Say, "Shut up. That would be nice, but I really love to see those reddish eyes colors." You say right now lifts her kind of chin up towards to see his eye level. And of course Issei's eyes are back to being one black and one kind of like goldenish white. Or one is dark kind of like dark gold but having a black aura, and the other one is kind of like lightish gold, like really lightish gold, and having such a whitish aura. This is where Issei then hair is still gray, but of course it's becoming more silverish snowy gray. And that's where, well, Issei says, "Don't worry, I won't get hurt, and I won't let anyone hurt you, because this is where, well, Issei is keep kind of covering, or yeah, kind of covering her chin up, because I actually, I should say, I guess I tolerance you enough to the point I. You say something about would I ever want to try it with love? I guess I want to try love with you. This is where Junko's face becomes even more shades of red. Issei's face becomes a little bit pink, but he's not trying to show it because he's still trying to act emotionless a little bit, but he can't. But of course, is where, well, Junko says, "Don't be a jerk like that." Issei says, "Sorry, I couldn't resist." This is where, well, they're just blushing a little bit, and this is where Issei says, "Well, I should be going to class then." This is where, well, he then kind of starts kind of walking back towards most of the group, but walking past him because he needs to kind of get to his class. But yeah, to kind of tell this Morohama Masui about the fight festival. But yeah, this is where, well, mostly before he was about to go, this is where Valerie kind of puts her hand right in front of him and says, "Hey, which dragon gear do you have inside, or boosted, or not boosted gear, mostly sacred gear do you have inside?" "Huh? Dragon? Sacred gear? Don't know. Ask Edward. I don't actually know any of that shit." This is where, well, she stops and says, "Really? So you don't know any dragon type you're from? Have you even awakened it? You seem pretty strong. I was expecting you to awaken it." Issei looks at her with dead cold eyes, and this is where Issei kind of sniffed the air for a second, because it was strange with Valerie. He can actually like smell what's it called, people and their sense usually of either being devil, fallen angel, or angel entirely, and also different supernatural beings. He doesn't just need to use like sage mode to just like check on them. But this is where, well, he smells the air and then decides to kind of smell what's it called, Volley, for a second. This is where, well, Volley, when her eyes in right now becomes a little bit red. This is where, well, Issei noticed what he did. Of course, he didn't care because, well, yeah, because for some reason he hates her, but at the same time doesn't hate her. This is where Issei says, "You're a half breed, aren't you?" This is where, well, she would wind her eyes and say, "What are you talking about? You're half devil and half fallen. I mean, not half fallen, half human. I can't tell if I hate you more or just hate you less. I'm just saying, I don't really like your devil side, but I don't hate your human side. So I guess your tolerance level to you will be a 5. This is where Junko is just coming up. This is where she saw what Issei was doing. Wasn't smelling it. Wasn't called Valerie. Was confused, but this is where Issei kind of told Junko, "Hey Junko, can you tell Sona that my tolerance level for what's it called? Uh, Valerie. Yeah, Valerie. Lucifeach. Kind of is a how should I say, 5. This is where, well, mostly Junko nodded. She was surprised. She thought, well, mostly she thought it, well, Valley would be kind of lower than that. But this is where she doesn't really care. This is where, well, Valerie says, "What do you mean?" She lets go. She managed to kind of get her hand out of what they call Issei. This is where Issei says, "Just talk to Sona about it. I already told her what I don't like and do like and whatever. Or just tolerate entirely. Now, you should know one thing. My tolerance level kind of goes that of either 10 to -10. And the only person who is right now below 0 is a red hair that I'm going to have to help at the Fight Festival." I'm going to have lots of fun in Fight Festival. But whatever. So yeah, this is where Issei kind of just pushed her kind of arm away, and of course decides to walk away, going back to his class. This is where, well, she was confused, but this is where she looks at Junko. Junko says, "Noted. Valerie Lucifer is only, how should I say, a 5. Good to know." This is where, well, she then looks at Kuroka and says, "And you're only a 4. And I don't know what he will put you, Rainer, since we're both Fallens, but I guess since you have more lustful thoughts than normal for being a Fallen, I guess you will be probably a 3. This is where, well, they look confused at Junko, but Junko says, "Well, I gotta go talk to friends. Bye." This is where she walks away. This is where, well, wait, we gotta, this is where, well, Kuroka saying, "Tolerance level, I'm up 4, probably Rainer's 3, and you're 5? How you been higher than us?" This is where, well, Valerie says, "Don't know. He said that he hated my double side, but liked my human side." I don't know. This is where she had a tint of blush in her face, because she was never actually told that actually a lot of people kind of just hated her human side, but kind of like her double side. But it was the first time it was kind of reversed to ever hear that someone likes her human side than her double side. As it were, well, she does kind of despise her double side a lot just because of her grandfather, but, well, mostly it was just interesting to her. But yeah, this is where, well, she then says, "Whatever, let's just keep going." This is where they're walking away, but this is where Issei gets to the classroom, walks into the classroom, like opens the door, of course, with her super white hair still being there. Whether care in the world kind of changing or not. This is where, his eyes did go back to kind of being a goldenish kind of color, not being too bright and not being too dark. He walks in. He kind of walks into, well, mostly walking upstairs. The teacher asks him where Issei has been, but Issei ignores him, goes up to Masui and Morohama, grabs him from the collar, and walks out of the class. Also, grabs him from both of their collars and then just kind of dragging them and opening the other door and just kind of dragging them outside. Now, of course, everyone was confused, and of course, they were even more confused with Issei's hair being a kind of silver snow color. This is where, well, the guy thinks that he might have just had too much stress, or he might have accidentally screwed himself and just used his own, you know what, for his hair. But no, that was just Issei's kind of true hair color. This is where, well, someone in the class who has brownish hair and kind of hazel eyes kind of says, "Ara ara, I wasn't expecting him to have soulish white hair." Then again, I have seen it during the battle between him and Edward. No one else knows about this. Good to know. Two people are right now just thinking in their head, thinking that Issei has right now fully not cared no more. This is where that's none other than the 2 Kendall class girls. Mostly since they still see the battle between, well, Edward and Issei. Now, Issei was easily beating the shit out of Edward, but of course, somewhat being disgusting at the same time, the fact that he can pull a, like, bone sword out of his spine. But yeah, being that of his spine. But Issei is fine looking, but yeah. Mostly when he pull out the kind of bone, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei kind of like pushes what's it called? Well, not pushes, mostly kind of just drop Masui and Morohama. And this is where they're confused and look up and says, "What do you want, Issei? Also, you realize you have silver white hair out, right?" "Yeah, I do." "So what do you want exactly?" "So, guys, next week is going to be extremely fun for all of us." And this is where, well, Morohama says, "And that will be what?" This is where Morohama pushes the glasses. Masui kind of just picks his kind of shirt, but yeah. This is where, well, that's going to be a fun week. It's called Fight Festival. It's mostly when all 3 of us will be fighting against the male population. This is where, well, Masui kind of sharpens his eyes a little bit towards Issei and says, "What do you mean?" "So you remember how I can actually read minds and actually have a good list of all the guys who are quite more perverted than us and has more dirty secrets than any of us?" "Yeah. Well, how should I say? I managed to bargain with Sona Sifri. You know, the council devil, right?" This to where, well, yes. "Yeah, we do know about her." "Well, I managed to bargain with her in about having a whole week for Fight Festival, a battle between all the male students where we can hurt them so bad, make them feel so much despair, make them feel fear, make them hate their own life. This is where Issei is going on, and this is where, well, they can see Issei is kind of having such a malicious grin, and this is where, well, Issei says, but other than that, after that fight festival, I will have to help Ria's grandmother in her stupid fucking marriage thing. She's getting married at such a young age? That sucks. And you're going to help her, right? This is where, well, mostly Murahama said, yep. That was the price of bargain to pay with. But I don't care. I want to cause chaos as much as I want. I haven't actually tried any of my, what's it called, taijutsu memories that I was experiment on for. Oh, so you're gonna practice on that, practice on weaklings. Hell yeah. I'm only asking you two if you guys are actually wanting to join, because I did put down your names as people that would join this fight festival with me. Edward's going to come along. This is where, well, Matsue and Murahama right now scoffed a little bit. Well, come on, you gotta stop acting your perverted selves. You know that's complete bullshit. You don't actually hate him. This is where, well, they both just laugh a little and chuckle. This is where, well, Matsui says, no, I don't hate him because he's a good-looking person. No, that's not the reason. This is where, well, he just explains just because he has power, and I always wanted to fight him. So, in this fight festival, there's no alliance, is there? No, not exactly. There's mostly a lot of beating the shit out of random people. Good to know, good to know. I'm going to guess that you're going to actually ask some other people to join. Yep, and I'm guessing you guys are also going to do the same. That's right, well, they said, of course, it won't be a fight festival if those guys hadn't joined in. This is right, well, you say chuckles and says, well, good to know. Well, Matsui, I know that you're going to go against mostly the football squad. So, tell me, you gonna bring anyone along with you? Nah, well, I am going to bring a couple people that I know that knows about me not being quite perverted and me knowing a little bit more about my family history. Well, not much, but a little bit. Okay, what about you, Murahama? I'm going to go against the Science Research Club. Me and someone else are going to beat the shit out of them for being such pricks. Trying to blame everything on me and whatever happened to their stupid life. This is where, well, Issei chuckles and says, good to know that you're going to bring Caesar along. Caesar! This is where, well, they actually heard that across the hallway and says, God damn it, Caesar. Whatever. Well, see, Issei says, well, good to know. I might bring out some of, some good people along to kind of fight and murder a little bit. Or might cause chaos. Who cares? Besides, if we put those, well, mostly the male population in the hospital, it's not entirely our fault, is it? Well, they said, not really. What about the girl population? Wouldn't they try to stop us? Not really. My future girlfriend is going to stop them. This is where they look at Issei right now with the confused kind of words that he just said. Girlfriend? What? Don't worry about it. You guys don't need to worry about your little head about that. Are you talking about the whole helping Rias? No, her tolerance level is actually, you know how I have a tolerance scale. They say, yeah, what level is she? -1. Okay, that's not surprising then. This is where, well, Issa says, yeah, I'm going out with a fallen angel. I'd rather go with a fallen angel than a devil. And angels are too pure and innocent, so I'm not going to corrupt them. I see. Well, good to know. Well, good luck with your fallen angel date, whatever. Who are you going to go out with anyway? My Queen of Despair? But don't worry, you don't even need to know about that. They just scoff a little bit and say, fine, whatever. So this is going to happen all next week. Yep. So do we just ditch the whole day and just kind of wait until next week? Or do we go right now to kind of talk to the others? Huh. Well, since we don't have a really group chat and connected with any of them, I guess we can just ditch right now this class and just go on with the whole talkative. This is where, well, they grin in an instant, evilish grins Matsui has such an evilish grin. Murahama has an evil grin pushing up his glasses, and of course, like light actually appearing. This is where, well, mostly what's it called? Issei is having such an evilish grin. So, of course, this is where, well, all of them decide to walk away. Not back into the classroom, but literally just walk away. Kind of getting towards different places that they need to be at. And this is where, well, mostly we go into Murahama just appearing in front of a person who is right now doing experiments by hitting mostly outside of the campus, what's it called, school campus, being underground. And this is where, well, the person's right now dealing with some chemicals and other stuff. And this is where, well, he has like the steam of gas smoke, like moving like if he was a coat or something. This is where, well, he kind of has palish skin a little bit, but this is where he had bluish kind of hair. This is where, he heard the door of his entrance kind of being open, and this is where, well, the person says, well, mostly, well, no, he's mostly, what's it called, the person was kind of, taking a short nap in school, of course, in one of the classrooms that, what's it called, were abandoned a little bit. This is where, well, the door opens, and this is where, well, he was actually confused, and realized the only person that can open that door is none other than Murahama. Murahama appears with, well, his glasses kind of being shine, and one of them being kind of non-shine, and seeing his dark black eye. He kind of looked like this from kind of that guy from Blue Lock. I don't remember his name. But yeah. Now, I didn't really watch Blue Lock, but I just remember seeing this guy, and this guy always looks like he wants to commit murder or something with soccer. But not the point. He appears, and this is where Murahama starts talking to Caesar. This is where Caesar says, so there'll be a fight. And what do you want me to do about it? Or we're going to be able to take out the science classroom. You know, they reject us just because we're a little bit, how should I say, on the evilish side. Those bastards doesn't know what to go hit them. I'm going to make sure those bastards regret ever daring to right now call me a, what it called, pathetic scientist. Caesar kind of looks at him with such an evilish grin on us and says, sure. Are we gonna get the other two or what? Yeah, we are. This is where, well, Caesar says, I'm guessing that your boss is going to be talking to my boss, isn't it? Oh, Dofi and Issei? Oh, of course they are. They're probably right now talking to each other, or probably Dofi's attacking Issei and Issei's going to kick the shit of him. Whatever is happening there, that's just their problem. I'm right now wondering if the other two will actually like to help. This is where, well, mostly Caesar says, well, then let's go. This is where Caesar gets up. Gas is right now, mostly his clothing kind of looks like, what's it called? Yes, he does look like Caesar from One Piece, but yeah. So just think of that. This is where, well, Caesar says, well, then let's go then. This is where, well, Caesar right now transforms into gas and jumps out the window, or mostly flies out the window. Now, of course, his ability isn't really magic, so of course, it's easy to travel around. This is where, well, right now, mostly, Murahama smiles, and this is where, well, rocket boots actually appear underneath his feet, and he just jumps out the window also right now flying up. He doesn't use magic, so of course, he's just right now flying. This is where, well, they're getting to a spot that right now someone is smoking a cigar. This is where, well, he looks up and says, what do you want, you two? Murahama and, what's it called, Caesar. This is where, well, they say, hey, Frank. So, how would you like to have a fun time and fight festival beating the shit out of the science kind of research club? This is where, well, Frank looks up with kind of interest eyes a little bit and says, I guess I'll be kind of interesting. What's the catch here? There's no catch. You get to beat the shit of any male population guy. Any males. Well, what about the female population? That'll be dealt by another girl, but she'll probably only target a couple of people that she doesn't like. That is true. This is where, well, he breathes out. This is where, well, he then kind of texts someone and kind of calls them at the same time and says, yo, what's it called? So, of course, this is where his name is Franken, but of course, they call him just Frank. But this is where, well, he says, hey, Medusa. This is where he calls on the phone. Someone picks up and says, "Yeah, what do you want, Franken?" So, you remember about the Science Research Club, right? Yeah. So, you remember some of how the girls kind of scorn you just because you look like somewhat of a reptilian, right? Like a snake, right? Yeah, I know. Those people, those son of a bitches, really also said that the tattoos I wear really are just tattoos and they look stupid. I'm gonna kill them one day. Well, you might be able to. The girl on the other side says, "Really, Frank? You won't actually bail me out if I go to prison?" No, not that. Right now, next week is going to be a fight festival, a free-for-all for the whole school. I guess the male population students decide to piss off, how should I say, Murahama's kind of boss, being, Issei. Ooh, but they kind of just fucked up, didn't they? But how did he manage to be considered to have a fight festival? Don't know. I really don't care. I just care about beating the shit out of those fucking pricks and taking over that fucking club. Besides, we have 5 people entirely. You can count as one of them. This is where, well, Murahama says, we don't need to hear this. If you guys want to talk about this, do that in private. But we only came here to tell you this. Now we're going off to kind of go talk to the other. Fine, go ahead. This is where, well, both Caesar and right now, Murahama right now flies off, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly it was a calm. Frank was just talking to Medusa for a little bit more, and of course, kind of doing, well, mostly talking, well, kind of plus 18 to her, but yeah. This is where, well, that was happening, but this is where Caesar and, well, Murahama says, where will be the last guy? He's usually in the basement somewhere, mostly somewhere dark, okay? He has a lot of, what's it called, how should I say, kind of bases around here. Let me check on the scouter. This is where he pulls out a scouter to look around. This is where he says, found him. Good, let's go then. This is where, well, they go off to kind of find the last person, but yeah. This is where, well, they found him, and of course, he was basically just doing some small experiments, just there and there. It wasn't like any human experiments, just on chemicals and just researching most of the time. This is where the guy had kind of blondish hair, had a golden, well, mostly not a golden hat, mostly a green and white hat, striped hat, and this is where, well, he then kind of felt the 2 energy signatures coming from behind him. This is where he turns around and says, "Ah, Murahama and Caesar, what do you want?" "Hey, Kisuke." This is where, well, they don't call him Kisuke. His full name is Kisuke Urahara, but they call him Urahara. This is where, well, or mostly Kisuke. Yeah, Kisuke is his first name. This is where Kisuke says, "Yeah, what do you want?" "So, you know there's going to be an interesting fight festival, and you want me to go beat the shit out of the Science Research Club?" "I mean, why not?" "Hell, fine. I'll beat the shit out of them. They piss me off with half the experiments they do. It's nothing but just pathetic, useless ones." That's where he says. That's where, well, they just grin and says, "Good. At least we have the whole group back together." "What do you mean whole group back together? What about the other 3? "The 3 females?" About that. This is where Kisuke says, "Oh, I see what is going on here. You don't want to go talk to them because you know how much they, want to have a child with you." Murahama looks away and says, "Shut the hell up. We're not talking about them." "Oh, don't worry. I'll call them later to tell them that Murahama wants you to join this new research science club next week for a fight festival. And if you help him with the female population on that science club, he will make you be proud mothers." This is where, well, Murahama looks away and says, "Shut the fuck up. Don't you dare tell them that. No, 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 no." "And then how are you going to deal with the female population on there?" "Well, mostly Frank's kind of GF is going to do that." "Oh, right. Forgot about Medusa." "Still, she won't be enough." "I'll call them." Well, mostly he doesn't say, well, he doesn't say 3. He says 2 people. But yeah, and this Murahama's blushing, looking away. But yeah. That's where, well, Kisuke is just kind of giggling and laughing at Murahama's misfortune most of the time. But yeah. This is where we go into now Matsui. Matsui is walking towards a place with mostly a couple of people right now just doing some stuff. Or mostly someone's eating a giant donut most of the time. This is where, well, Matsui knocks at the door, and this is where the person says, if that is you, Matsui, come in then. I already know you know about my secret, my dirty little secret that I usually try to keep away. It's mostly another, what's it called? This place that he just knocked was mostly one of the abandoned kind of rooms of the mostly school. This is where, so this is where, well, I'm sorry, but I have to leave it off. But mostly, Matsui meets up with a guy with kind of like, he's pretty big and of course having purplish hair. And this is where, well, he Matsui says, yo, I'm only here to talk to you. And of course, then you can tell the others if they want to join up with the fight festival. Sure, why not? But this is where I'm gonna have to leave it off. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know why that inconvenience bullshit has to happen most of the time, but yeah. Well, other than that, see ya, bye, and yeah.